Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing? Wonderful. Okay, so we'll continue with our discussion on budget. Okay, so in the previous class, I was talking about Karnataka budget 2024. All right, so we finished with the numbers. I hope you have written it down. Now that you have to recap those things, you have to keep revising it. All right, and after that we started with the schemes that have been mentioned in Karnataka budget. So it's actually very important topic that we are discussing. As I told you in the previous class, for the entire year 2024 to 25, whatever examination is called by Karnataka government, you can expect questions from this. Also, how I have analyzed, how I have made note of these points is either sentence-based question or fact-based question can be asked. Whatever is irrelevant, etc., I have skipped it. Okay, now that we are going to continue with our budget. Okay, and also we will try and complete it in the next 2 hours, whatever is required from Karnataka budget. All right. So before we start, let's try and recap what we have discussed in the previous class in the form of question and answers. All right. So let's try and answer these questions. Okay, so for online students, part 2, we are just editing. It will be uploaded soon. All right, so this is part 3. Today afternoon will be part 4. So what we are doing right now, for those who have joined recently or those who have did not attend the previous class, we are doing Karnataka budget this year 2024 and also economic survey, and in that whatever schemes have been mentioned. Economic survey, the recent one, that is 23-24, whatever has been released in the month of February in 2024. So from that we are doing schemes. So in the previous class also we discussed schemes in part 2. In part 4, that is in the afternoon session, we will be again continuing with the economic survey and the schemes. All right. So anyway, so inspired by the previous year question, all right, we have a question over here. In 2024-25 Karnataka budget estimate what percentage of gross allocation went for women and child development? Yes. 9%. Okay. I mean, obviously it's facts and then you'll have to remember. Anyway, similar question was asked, if you recollect, in the previous year also. Okay. Another question. Okay. What is Karnataka share in percentage from total divisible share of central taxes? As per the Finance Commission, so how much is Karnataka getting? Yes. 3.6. Earlier it was 4.7. Now it has been, with the new formula, it has reduced to 3.6. All right. One more question, last one. With respect to Karnataka's Fiscal Responsibility Act, which was amended in 2022, which of the following statement is correct? Fiscal deficit cannot exceed 3.5% of GSDP. Revenue deficit cannot exceed 0% of GSDP. Yes. Both are correct, wrong? Correct. Are you sure? Can you check your notes, what you have written down? The amendment that has been done. Is it now mandatory to restrict yourself within these limits, or is there any relaxation? So revenue deficit can be missed is what is the amendment. Earlier it had to be within, or it has to be brought down to 0%, but now it can be missed, right? So the second statement is incorrect. The first statement is correct. So the answer is 1A only. Is that okay? It is fine. You'll have to just repeat it. You have read it, but the thing is that these small things only will be problematic in your examination. Is that okay? So these are few questions from the previous discussion that we have done. Is that okay? So we'll continue with our budget now. All right. Again, quickly keep writing whatever is there. See, you have a, if you see the budget, lot of information is there. Whatever probable questions can be asked, only that I have put. Something from mains point of view, I have kept it. Otherwise, I have skipped the general allotments and other things for various ministries and departments. Sorry, one more question. ESAP software to advise farmers on pets disease by which university? Raichur. UAS Raichur. Agriculture University of Raichur. Simple question. So like this, places in news from the budget, okay, or any schemes or allocation, etc., can be asked in your examination. So we'll start with the budget. So we finished with agriculture, we finished with horticulture. So continue writing. Okay, so I told you in the previous class, maintain a notebook for your Karnataka issues you fill it up, any exam, quick revision, and you will be surprised. When you see similar questions or similar information, you will be elated and it is going to help you clear your exam. Okay, repeated revision is the key. As I told you, prelims is very easy to clear, or multiple choice question exams are actually very easy to clear. Okay, it requires revision, it requires skill for you to solve the questions. Okay, the information has to be repeated. It's not that you read from different sources. Unlike conceptual topics or unlike mains, where you have to go on reading more to be able to analyze topics, here the same thing, repeatedly read it. Let's say out of 40 questions, 30 you should be able to solve comfortably. The other 10 somehow you should be able to guess. So these classes will help you do that. 40 questions from Karnataka issue you can solve. Anyways, continuing with our primary sector. Okay, so we finished agriculture, horticulture, sericulture. Right, the next one is animal husbandry. As such, there is nothing much in this except that there is a shepherd and their properties Prevention of Atrocities Act. Okay, but I tried to search, there is no much information on that. Generally, it's similar to that of SC/ST Atrocities Act. Okay, so on that similar line, to protect the properties of the pastoral communities, we have this act. Just make a note of it. Okay, but the details, in case if it is in news, probably you can understand. So basically, the government announced certain welfare schemes as well as implementing of this particular act to protect the interest of the pastoral community. Okay, that's one. One more fact you have to remember, there is a proposal to set up or start a veterinary college in Puttur. Okay, so this you can remember. So where is the proposal? In Puttur. So that question itself can be asked. So like that, try and break down the entire topic into sentences or facts which can be asked in the examination. Is that okay? Is done? We'll move on. Okay, next, fisheries. Okay, there's a proposal to start sea ambulance in the coastal areas. Then enhancement of state share in Matsya Asha Kirana scheme, okay, or Asha Kiran scheme. So both center and state contribute towards this scheme. I'll just tell you what this is. Matsya Asha Kiran scheme. Just write down this point. I will put up the next slide. So what is this scheme? All right. So to increase the fish production. So the scheme is, objective is to increase the fish production and to encourage fisheries through fish culture. Okay. So here the objective is to promote fishes in major tanks across the state. So here 50% of the unit cost, that is 27,000 rupees, will be provided as subsidy. And what will be this amount going for purchase of fingerlings, okay, fish fingerlings, as well as for artificial feeds. So all these are important for increasing the productivity of fishing, okay, by fish cultivation or fish culture in major tanks across state. 50% of the unit cost, maximum amount of 27,000 will be provided as subsidy for buying fingerlings as well as artificial feed. Okay, one more, financial assistance for houses for fishermen. So about 10,000 houses will be built. Okay, there is a proposal for financial assistance for fishermen. Now, the scheme for this is called as your Matsya Ashraya scheme. So the scheme name is Matsya Ashraya scheme for houseless fisher folk, 100% assistance. And the maximum amount what is given varies. For the general category, it is 1.2 lakh. For SC beneficiaries, 1.75 lakhs. And for ST beneficiaries, it is 2 lakhs. Yes. This one? Okay. This is the Asha Kiran scheme. This is to promote fisheries. The what fish babies, the small ones. Okay, so Ashraya scheme. Again, these numbers are sometimes asked in the exam. All right, so this is with respect to fisheries. Next is cooperative societies, or with respect to agriculture and agrarian cooperative societies, etc. So one is the target for crop loans. Okay, for this year, the government has announced that around 27,000 crores crop loan shall be distributed through cooperative banks to about 36 lakh farmers. Also, in the budget, 450 crore will be given to the district central cooperative banks. So why this money is because previously these banks have given loans at subsidized prices to the farmers. Also, loan waivers have been done, and the loan has to be repaid by somebody, the government pays back. So you might have all heard about loan waivers. Yes, so whatever loan has been taken by the beneficiaries or by farmers or anybody, if it is waived off, that means they don't have to pay it. Okay, on behalf of them, the government will pay. So the loans that has been waived off belonging to these cooperative banks now have to be given to them by the government. So for that, 450 crore for the money that, or the amount that has been incurred by these banks as part of the loan waiver schemes. Also, the subsidies, subsidized loans, subsidized interest that they have given, for that also they have to be compensated, for which 450 crores have been given. Then request the central government to introduce MSP for arecanut, onions, grapes, mango, banana and other horticulture crops. So you all are aware of MSP, minimum support price, right? So currently the MSP is okay, having a certain formula. Now there is a demand, you all might be reading in the news about the farmers' protest that is happening in Delhi. So one of the issue with respect to the farm protest is to change the formula through which this MSP is calculated. All right, so they are demanding that this shall be changed as per the Swaminathan committee. So let me just put that slide over here. So you can be expected question on MSP, okay, whether it is in prelims or mains. So the basic of MSP is minimum support price. So what is that? What is minimum support price? So it is an assurance by the government agency that they will procure the farm produce if the prices fall below the market price, fall below the MSP. So it acts as an insurance kind of a thing, okay, or it helps to mitigate distress sale, right? So in India, MSP is by the central government, where it is decided by a body called as the Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices. So that body name is important. So there is a commission called as the Commission for Agriculture Cost and Pricing under the Agriculture Ministry, Department of Agriculture, and once the prices have been fixed, it will have to be finally approved by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. All right, so these are some of the important facts from the conceptual topic, from the static topic. So MSP is announced before the season, right? So for Kharif crops, Rabi crops, every year they do it. All right, so paddy, jowar, bajra, ragi, maize, ahara, moong, urad, cotton, etc. Rabi crops. Okay, copra, dehusked coconut and jute also. And for sugarcane, there is another pricing mechanism which is called as the fair remunerative price. I have not put up a slide or discussing this, but that also becomes important. But MSP is in news. Okay, so currently it is calculated based on a formula. Now they want to replace it. So if you write down this, I will tell you how it is calculated. So I'll repeat again. So the government has announced that the state government will request the central government to introduce MSP for certain horticulture crops. That is number one. Plus, it has also requested, or it's going to request the central government to change the formula, the mechanism in which MSP will be fixed based on the committee report of Swaminathan committee. All right. So, how is it calculated now? So, there are two prices first which is taken into account, or two values that is taken into account, called as A2 and FL. A2 is all the cost that is incurred by the farmers to grow something, okay, which is called as the cost directly incurred by the farmers. That is A2. And FL is all the payment that is to be made to the laborers, family laborers, unpaid family laborers. Okay, so A2 plus FL is the cost of production, and MSP is currently fixed at 1.5 times that of the cost of production. Actually very important because it is in news. So this is the cost of production. Whatever the cost the farmer incurs, okay, for producing their crop. It can include seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, hired laborers, leased in land, fuel, irrigation, and any other cost incurred by the farmer for the production. So that is called as A2. Then you have FL. So what happens is your hired laborers is taken into account, but family laborers are often not taken into account. But if they are not working in their farm, they can go elsewhere and earn money. So that also has to be taken into account. So FL is unpaid family labor. So the cost of production currently is calculated based on A2 plus FL. This is the formula. So currently MSP is fixed at 1.5 times that of the state. So they take the average, national as well as the state averages, and then they calculate it. Okay, so this is how MSP is calculated currently. So now there is a proposal, demand to change this to the recommendation that has been given by Swaminathan Commission. So over here, they are going to calculate the cost of the capital. Okay, it can be the land that is used for cultivation. It can belong to your own, or you are renting it, or you are leasing it, or you have bought it by taking loan. All that is taken into account. Okay, that is your C2, interest on capital asset. Or if you are renting or leasing the land, the rent paid, or it can be the rent value of own land. Your own land, if at all you are giving it on rent, what will be the cost that you are going to get? So that average is taken, that is C2. So MSP the proposal is the C2 plus 50% of it. So this is the demand that the farmers are making. Even the state government has requested the central government to fix the MSP based on this. Okay. For online students, those who are finding it difficult to watch the quality, you will have to change your settings and increase the quality. You will find quality. You might have put it on low quality. Put it at higher quality. You will be able to see it. Okay, let me come back again. Okay, to this MSP. Is that fine? okay, to horticulture, so request to introduce it for certain horticulture. Then fix MSP, cost of cultivation plus 50% as per Swaminathan committee. This is how it is calculated right now. Okay, this is the this is how it is calculated right now. This is for the crops to which it is, currently announced, the MSP. Okay, Kharif crops, Rabi crops. Simple, basic, conceptual questions can be based on this. Is that okay? Minimum support price. From your mains point of view also, MSP and MSP reforms can be asked as a question. So it's a very important topic given the current context of what is happening in the agrarian sector. All right. So fair remunerative price for sugar. Please keep that in mind. All right. So the committee, the body that announces this, Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices, and it has to be approved by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. So currently how it is calculated, A2 plus FL 1.5 times of that. Okay, and what is the recommendation is C2 plus 50%. See, I am little bit quick because we need to cover more topics. All right, so these will be there. You can again read it or watch it again. But let's try and cover it as a whole so that you will get a fair idea. You might have to watch it again or read it again to get better clarity. All this, if you Google also, you will find a lot of information on that, issues with that, how it can lead to inflation, how it is misused by large farmers. Small farmers do not benefit from MSP because they will not have enough to go and sell it in the APMC, the fees, or how it affects the farmer and retail linkage, how it reduces the overall cost of farming, etc., how it improves their input cost, all those things, advantage, disadvantage, and reforms. All of that becomes very important from your mains point of view, because in mains you have rural development and agriculture almost distributed in every paper. Paper 1, paper 2, right, paper 3 also. So agriculture policy is there in science also, paper 3. Okay, rural development is there in paper 1, there also agriculture policy is there. In paper 2 also there is rural development, decentralization, there also it can be asked. So all places it can be asked, so it's a very important topic. All right, moving on. So further continuing, another important issue with the agrarian sector is the APMC Act. Okay, so Karnataka was one of those states which had implemented the model APMC Act. Okay, now the present government wants to repeal the APMC Act. Okay, so the Chief Minister in this budget speech said that the bill will be introduced to repeal the anti-farm legislature. He has mentioned, I have removed that anti-farmer legislature, but as such to repeal the APMC Act. So here also please read about APMC. Okay, so this is an institutional mechanism to promote marketing of agricultural commodities. So you have a law regulating this provision, that is marketing, called as APMC Act. So you have regulated goods, there are markets, all those things you will have to read a little bit more. So this, if you have written this one line, I'll just add a little bit more about it. The amended act, what does it do? So it promotes multiple channels of marketing of agricultural produce. So this allows the farmers to have options. They don't have to go and sell it only in the designated market area. The amendment allows them to sell it in to other players. They can have direct linkage with the retailers, retail chain, or food processing industries, etc. So such kind of provisions were there in the amendment. So they promote multiple channels for marketing of agricultural produce, direct marketing, private market yards, as well as electronic trading. Okay, like futures, all those things can be done over here. All market functionaries has to obtain license to trade. Okay, and these licenses will now be available much more easy for new players to enter into the system. It also allows purchase and sale of agricultural produce outside the designated APMC yard. Earlier, how it used to be that you are a farmer, you have to go and sell it in the designated APMC yard itself. but now it has been deregulated so that you can sell it outside these areas. But still, fee has to be paid to that APMC zone, but it can be sold outside the designated market yard. These are some of the amendments that were introduced to the APMC Act. So let's see in the future, when the government introduces a bill to repeal this amendment, what are the provisions? Again, very important provision, because this is marketing, storage, warehouses, all these are very important for promoting agriculture. Okay, the laws, the provisions, okay, things are very important to understand the agrarian sector in our country. Okay, so coming back to our budget, so the government has announced that it will introduce a bill in order to repeal the APMC Act. Also, it will create a fund for market development assistance called as Market Development Assistance Fund. Okay, a statutory framework will be introduced to support various price schemes. Okay, then these provisions are generally for agricultural, marketing and food processing sector. So therefore, I have kept these, even though there are no facts. It will help you in your mains. What reform measures, okay, have been introduced in the budget to promote agricultural marketing? If that is a question, you can list all of this. Then 7 cold storages will be set up across Karnataka. Okay, then these two are important from the prelims point of view. Dry chili market will be set up in Ranebennur and Raichur. Modern agricultural complex will be coming up in Mangalore, okay, Mangaluru. Then there will be initiatives, promotion of digitalization of weighing of APMC, as well as weighing bridges will be set up near the sugar factories. Anyways, for prelims 1, 2 and 3 is important, but if you are analyzing the agrarian sector, okay, from the mains point of view, the rest also are important. What are the initiatives taken by the government or announced by the government to promote agricultural marketing? Repealing of APMC Act, fund to promote market development, statutory framework, a law will be introduced for various price support schemes, then supportive measures for processing of agricultural produce, market linkages, infrastructure will be built, okay, 7 cold storage will be set up, dry chili market, modern agricultural complex, digitalization of APMCs and weighing bridge will be set up near the sugar factory. You can write down these things. Okay, done. We'll move on. Okay, so the APMC Act amendment. Okay, next coming to the irrigation project. So these, whatever we have discussed is with respect to agriculture, horticulture, sericulture, or whatever, primary sector, all right, food processing, all those things we have completed. Whatever is there in the budget, in detail to that sector or whatever is there in economic survey, other schemes and all will be covered. Now coming to the irrigation projects. Okay, irrigation project. So all these are mentioned in the budget. So if it is mentioned in the budget, there is higher chances that they can ask in the exam. Okay, so Mekedatu project, Yettinahole project, Upper Krishna project, Krishna Tribunal. All right, all these three I am not discussed or I am not going to discuss over here. These are all from your geography, Karnataka geography material. You will find all of this or in the class. Okay, but they have mentioned it, so probably they can ask. So Mekedatu project, what is it? What is the controversies, etc. Okay, Yettinahole project, Upper Krishna project, Krishna. So basically what they have announced is that so much of fund is going to be given to these projects is being mentioned in the budget. Okay, next, Upper Bhadra project. So here also, fund will be given to this project. Also, they will request the central government to release the promised fund and all is being mentioned. So let's not go into that. But anyways, Upper Bhadra project will be provided. I will just put a small slide for that. If you have written these three things, I am not going to discuss them. Okay, you can read it from your geography class text. Okay, now the Upper Bhadra project, okay, basically it provides irrigation, drinking water and replenishment or rejuvenation of the groundwater, mainly focusing on central region of Karnataka. Okay, so here if you see the following districts or regions will be benefiting from this. Okay, Chikmagalur, okay, then Chitradurga, Tumkur and Davangere. It will be for irrigation, it will be for recharging of groundwater and to supply drinking water. So they will be implemented, or this project will be in two stages. Stage 1, where water will be lifted from Tunga to Bhadra, okay, and from there the stage 2 will be from Bhadra through tunnel near Ajjampur and will provide irrigation to about 2,25,000 hectares of land to Chikmagalur, Chitradurga, Tumkur and Davangere. So in your prelims examination, okay, they can ask what is the irrigation potential of Upper Bhadra project. They can ask, or they can ask which districts do they benefit. They can ask. All right. So it is for irrigation, recharge of groundwater and for drinking water purpose. So this is Upper Bhadra project. All these information. So these may not be there in your textbook, so that's why I have added. But otherwise, make it that all that will be there. It's a quite important project. Krishna and Krishna Tribunal. What is Karnataka's share in all of that? Simple facts can be asked. All right. Okay. So Upper Bhadra project, okay, irrigation potential of 75,000 acres in Chitradurga district. Okay, but overall, so this is what is mentioned in the budget, but then I have put up this slide, Upper Bhadra project. Okay, then Kalasa and Bandura Nala project, right? So that also I have put up over here, Kalasa Bandura Nala project. So basically this is again a controversial issue between Karnataka and Goa, right? So few points on that. So it is basically a proposal to divert the water, okay, of Mahadai river to supply drinking water, okay, and irrigation facilities, etc. Drinking water to the cities or towns of Belagavi, Dharwad, Bagalkot and Gadag. Okay, so when this project was proposed by Karnataka and then they started to work, etc. Goa went to central government set up a tribunal, okay, Mahadai River Tribunal. So this tribunal gave its verdict, that is the tribunal order over here. Again, it becomes important, okay. These are all in news, so therefore it is important that you are able to remember all of this. So please make a note of it, because if you go on searching, you will be spending more number of time. Okay, so if you write it down here in this 2 hours, okay, half your work is done. Right, so Karnataka 13 TMC, Maharashtra 1.3 TMC and Goa 24 TMC. Simple question, Mahadai dispute is between which all states? Goa, Karnataka and Maharashtra. Even though Maharashtra very little water supply or is dependent on that, but still it's a riparian state, so therefore it is also involved in the tribunal. So these numbers are important, 13, 1 and 24. Out of this 13 TMC, okay, the Karnataka will be using 5 TMC for drinking water. Okay, so 5 TMC for drinking water, out of which this project will divert 3.8 TMC will be diverted using this through this project. Important, please remember. Okay, 3.8 TMC will be intended to be diverted to Malaprabha Basin, okay, through Kalasa and Banduri Nalas. Belagavi, Dharwad, Bagalkot and Cuttack. These are all confusing, I mean, in the sense like difficult to remember, one or two can get missed out. Keep repeating, you will be able to remember. Okay, so coming to this, okay, so Kalasa and Banduri project awaiting forest clearance from the National Wildlife Board. So currently the status is that, so the government has said that, or in the budget, the Chief Minister said that we will try and push for faster environmental clearance, which is now stuck in National Wildlife Board, because it is going to affect certain forested areas. So when forest areas needs to be diverted or needs to be or any infrastructure projects has to come up, they have to take the approval of the National Wildlife Board. Okay, so continuing with the irrigation projects, is that okay? So irrigation, these are all in news, all right, plus Upper Bhadra project, plus Kalasa Banduri project. Okay, continuing. Okay, then Navali balancing reservoir, about 15,600 crore is being spent. So that is announced. So now what is this Navali balancing reservoir? So it is in Koppal district, Tungabhadra river. So basically after the dams that have been built, now a lot of silt has got accumulated in these reservoirs. Okay, in order to desilt, remove the silt, various initiatives have been taken up. One such initiative is this. So the reservoirs are all filled with the silt because of the silt brought by the rivers. Okay, so the storage capacity of these reservoirs have deteriorated. So therefore it is necessary that we build new reservoirs so that whatever has been allocated for the Karnataka, okay, the water share, that can be stored properly. Is that okay? So this is to overcome the silt caused by the silt, which has led to deficit amount of water being stored, and government, I mean the Karnataka is not able to utilize all the water that has been allocated for it. So therefore this has been built in Koppal district, or this is proposed to be built in Koppal district, okay, for the Tungabhadra river. Since it's going to affect Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, so the government will initiate talks with Andhra Pradesh and Telangana before initiating this project. This also, not only in the budget, few months back it was in news, okay, by the Water Resource Minister, happened to talk about it in somewhere in the news. So in your magazine also you would have gone through this. Okay, so that is one thing. So 15,600 crore has been announced for this project. Next, Brindavan Garden, okay, in KRS Dam or Krishnaraja Sagar Dam shall be upgraded to world standard. Now that has been mentioned, Brindavan Garden. So a little bit note on Brindavan Garden, built by Sir Mirza Ismail. So during his tenure it was built, and it was designed by German botanist Gustav Hermann Krumbagel. Okay, so you can make the note of that also. So Brindavan Gardens, okay, Mandya district in KRS Dam, built by Sir Mirza Ismail, designed by German botanist. So these are the extra value addition, just in case they ask. If the examiner wants to, okay, based on this, can ask these questions. Okay, please write down these facts. Okay, coming back, right, Brindavan Gardens will be upgraded. Okay, then another fact for prelims is Water and Land Management Institution will be set up, okay, or will be declared as a center of excellence in water management. Okay, it is located in Dharwad. Okay, please make a note of it. Center of Excellence in Water Management. So, Water and Land Management Institution will be designated as Center for Excellence in Water Management. All right. Then there are some names over here. These are all names of the lift irrigation projects that has got funds in the present budget. Okay, these are all lift irrigation in Krishna River. Unlikely to be asked, but at least you can write it down. The next one is rupees 365 crores. Okay, has been allocated for drinking water project to Kalburgi city from Bhima and Kagina River. Okay, to provide drinking water to Kalburgi city. See, if you see last year's question, they had asked a project and how much fund has been allocated for that project. So they can go to that extreme also with respect to what kind of facts that they are going to ask. All right. But anyways, the attempt should be to get familiarity with as much as possible. Okay, so over here, drinking water to Kalburgi district, okay, institution relating to irrigation, etc., Brindavan Gardens, reservoirs, okay, to help address the silt deposition in our reservoirs, etc. Okay, irrigation projects. We'll move on. Right. Then there are again other institutions and other projects which are mentioned in the budget. Karnataka Niravari Nigama, okay, Krishna Bhagya Jala Nigama, Kaveri Niravari Nigama. So like this, several institutions are in use. So basically all these are companies, government companies set up under the Companies Act to implement the projects relating to that particular river or whatever. Like for example, Kaveri Niravari Nigama, so it will be implementing the Kaveri river water projects or irrigation, lift irrigation or whatever, desilting, and it will also collect money, okay, for distribution of water, okay. So things like that will be done by them. Okay, so they are all government companies. I'll just put up few slides over here. See, Karnataka Niravari Nigama. So it is one of the companies that is owned by Karnataka government. So basically what does it do is, this you don't have to write down, just understand, it's obvious it is. So they are involved in what? Planning, investigation, estimation, execution, operation, maintenance of all irrigation projects. Okay, rehabilitation and resettlement of people. See, tomorrow if you become KS officers, so you will be MD or whatever of this particular companies. One of your postings will be like that. Is that okay? So it will have a board, it will have a chairman. Usually CM or the Ministry of Water Resources will be the chairman, and then there will be board members. The day-to-day activities will be taken care by a MD, an IAS officer will be an MD, and then there will be various other officers. So it also sells water and recovers the revenue. So like this, you have Karnataka Niravari Nigama Limited, Kaveri Niravari Nigam Limited, which is also a government company. CM is the chairman. It has a board okay, with chairman being the CM, MD for daily activities, again planning, designing, etc. So just for your information. So these are the things. Otherwise, there is nothing factual that you have to remember over here. But you should also remember there are various companies set up for implementing these projects, whether it is the Kaveri river water project and things like that. Okay. Similarly here, Krishna Bhagya Jala Nigama, okay, project will be implemented. Okay. Anyways, the last point, KC Valley project, please write down that. Okay, so that we will see what it is. KC Valley project. Okay, so this is Kormangla Chalagatta Valley. It also was in controversy news. For what reason? For good, bad? Bad. For? So so basically what is this is, the sewage water will be treated by various sewage plants. There are 7 sewage plants in Bangalore. So that will treat the water, and that water will be transported and stored in reservoirs, and these reservoirs will help in rejuvenation of the groundwater, especially in the dry regions of Kolar districts. So over there, the proposal is that these sewage water, treated sewage water, will be transported, stored in reservoirs. So the reservoirs will act as a natural replenishment of groundwater. Okay, and then the groundwater will then be used for irrigation. So indirect irrigation by replenishment of the groundwater. But the problem was, one of the reservoirs, even though treated water was sent to these reservoirs, the reservoirs had froth coming out of it. So that means it was still polluted, had rich nitrogen and all of that. So therefore it was in news, and then it went to the court also. Then the court stopped the transportation of those water to the reservoirs and said that you have to undertake a environmental impact assessment, and then it was done. So now again proposal to do this once again. So please write down KC Valley project. So Kormangla Chalagatta Valley tank filling lift irrigation project. So basically it will be used to fill up the various tanks across the Kolar district. Okay, so pumps secondary, so it will pump the secondary treated wastewater, okay, from Bengaluru, store in rain-fed tanks of Kolar district, okay, the catchment area of Dakshina, Pinakini and Pallar river, and this will help indirect irrigation by replenishment of groundwater. So most of the groundwater has been depleted as a result of over exploitation in these parts of Karnataka. So therefore this will help in recharging of the groundwater. Important, please write down. It was in news several times. So KC Valley project, for what purpose? Recharging of groundwater. Which district? Kolar. Okay. From where? From Bengaluru, the treated waste water. So these are some irrigation projects that are mentioned in your budget, okay, or institutions relating to irrigation which are in news. I'll just again repeat, okay. So these are all what you have written down. These irrigation projects, okay, are important ones. What it is, what the districts it supply, or which river it is against, or how much funding has taken place. All those things can be asked. Okay. So that is with respect to irrigation. Is there any doubt? Fine, we'll move on. So the next one is education. So 2 programs have been mentioned. Other than that, money is sent, money has been approved for hostels, building of schools, building of that, this. I have not mentioned all of them. There's no fact that can be asked in your exam. 2 programs relating to education is here. One Ganaka program. So to improve the mathematics of school students, okay, from class 3rd to 5th, to promote maths, obviously the name, okay. The institution is important over here, in coordination with a institution called as Abdul Latif Jamil Poverty Action Lab, JPAL Institute. So the government will coordinate with this. So basically this institution was set up in US by certain individual philanthropist, okay, to promote education, etc., and to elevate poverty. So this institution will collaborate with the government of Karnataka to implement this scheme. Next, Marusinchana program to improve learning ability 6th to 7th standard who are lagging behind. Again, write down this 6th to 7th, 6th and 7th standard for students who are lagging behind in studies. Ganita Ganaka program 3rd to 5th, Jaypal institution, maths. Then government schools in Karnataka will be upgraded as Karnataka public schools, okay, under various CSR fund. As such, no fact is there, but just to give you an information that CSR funds will be utilized for upgradation of these schools. So Marusinchana program for students who are lagging behind 6th to 7th standard. So scheme like this with respect to Marusinchana program, what is it, or a recent scheme, what is the name, such kind of question can be expected. Next, health also several statements are there in health. I have not added all of them, like money to upgrade PHCs, money to every district hospitals, etc., like that is there. Something which can be asked. Now, child health care unit will be set up in Kalburgi Medical College. I don't know, it's not that important. Unless it is in red, it is very important. Otherwise, general understanding is okay. Viral Research and Diagnostic Lab, Kodagu Institute of Medical Science. A robotic surgery facility at Bengaluru Institute of Urology. Then Medical Education Directorate will be renamed as Commissionerate. Then health repositories will be digitalized under the Digital Health Society. At least these three names, if at all they ask, they might ask. Otherwise, it's not so important. Okay, Child Health Care Unit at Kalburgi Medical College, Viral Research and Diagnostic Lab at Kodagu Medical Institute, Robotic Surgery at Institute of Nephrology, Bengaluru. Okay, so this is with respect to the health. So health repositories will be digitalized under Digital Health Society. Medical Education Directorate will be renamed as Commissionerate of Medical Education. Robotic Surgery Facility, Nephrology Institute in Bengaluru. Viral Institute in Kodagu. Child Healthcare Unit in Kalburgi Medical College. And one more institution which was in name is your Mysore Medical College. Why? Because it is celebrating 100 years of its establishment. It was set up in the year 1924. It is the first medical college in Karnataka. Okay, it was started as Mysore Medical College in Bangalore. Please note that it was started in Bengaluru. Okay, it was started in Bangalore in 1924. Okay, when it was called Mysore, the entire state. Okay, it was the 7th medical college to be set up. So you can expect a question because it is the 100th year of Mysore Medical College. All right, centenary year celebration, Mysore Medical College. For that, a new OPD block will be set up in KR Hospital, which is attached to Mysore Medical College. So this college was started by Maharaja Krishnaraja Wadeyar IV. That also is important. So started by the king Krishnaraja Wadeyar, 7th in India, first in Mysore or Karnataka, started in Bangalore. In 1930, it was shifted to Mysore. Is that okay? Right, we'll move on. Right. Then various schemes, welfare schemes relating to women, child, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, etc. So you all know about Gruha Lakshmi. So obviously fund is now allotted in the budget. So the name is there, Gruha Lakshmi Guarantee Scheme. So here rupees 2000 per month for one women from a family. Okay, women head, who is the head of that family. Okay, rupees 2000 per month. It is for both BPL as well as APL. Okay, there is exclusion criteria basically, otherwise it's for all women of BPL as well as APL. There are exclusion criteria, like for example, if they are employed in government, husband is in government, or if they are IT payers, or if they are business who are paying GST, then they shall not be eligible. Otherwise, they shall get rupees 2000 per month. Gruha Lakshmi Guarantee Scheme. Okay, for women head of family, one person will be getting this, rupees 2000 per month, BPL, APL. Exclusion is government employees, IT, they or husband or anybody at the house, and GST pay. All right, next, some pension schemes which were mentioned, whose pensions have been increased. It's not a new scheme as such, already which were existing, they are just increased. If at all you can be asked or something like that. So pension for former Devadasis have been increased to rupees 2000. Okay, Maitri scheme, that is pension under which pension to linguistic minorities will be given, has been increased to 1200. Then rupees 1000 incentives for those caretakers of differentially abled individuals suffering from cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, Parkinson's, and multiple sclerosis. Maybe you can remember these can be asked. So cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, Parkinson's, or multiple sclerosis. For the caregivers taking care of these individuals, rupees 1000 stipend is given. So Maitri scheme, pension for linguistic minorities, pensions for Devadasis. See, unless more is there, you can read beneficiary, their age and how criteria, all of that, but otherwise just make a note of it, that's all. All right, nothing as such so important from prelims. Okay, continuing. Okay, so some other persons in news or places in news, look at this. So library in Bengaluru University, okay, in the memory of Padma Shri Dr. Siddhalingayya. Okay, so this, like previously they have asked such question, you can expect. Okay, then for tribals, okay, we have scheme, or we have to promote education among the tribals, we have what is called as ashram schools. Ashram schools are basically residential schools to help improve the education of scheduled tribes, so they can stay in these residential schools, get education, they are taken care, their food and other hostel facilities are provided. So that is now going to be renamed as Maharishi Valmiki Adivasi Budakattu Vasati Shale. Okay, so those will be renamed as this. They were earlier called as ashram school. Then various effort to help the nomadic and semi-nomadic community. So what measures have been announced by the government to help the nomadic and semi-nomadic? So the problem with these are they can belong, they are a diverse group of people. Some of them belong to caste, some of them are tribals, some of them are scheduled caste, some of them are OBCs, some of them are STs. Okay, so it's a very diverse group. They are involved in various activities, pastoral, artisan communities, etc., who are involved in nomadic and semi-nomadic communities. Matlab, they don't have a sedentary or settled way of living. They keep migrating. So the problem is that they are denied benefits, they don't have proper identification, okay, they don't have government documents, various schemes, they are excluded from various schemes, they don't enjoy the protection of SC/ST atrocities acts. So there are several such problems. Even at the national level also these problems have been identified. Government had set up a committee to review that. IDET committee it was called. So that committee has given a report. Okay, so like that you can see it even in the national level also. Now coming to the state, Karnataka government has come up with these following initiative. 20% seats will be reserved for these communities in residential schools meant for the backward communities. So 20% of the seats will be reserved for such communities. Special cells shall be set up for them to get ration cards and other government documents. Then Karnataka Alemari Ayoga will be set up, a commission will be set up, okay, in order to study their socio-economic status and in turn give report, and accordingly the government will take actions. Okay, so these can be important even from your mains point of view. What are the measures announced by the Karnataka government to help nomadic and semi-nomadic communities? Reservation, a special cell to get ration card, and a commission called as Karnataka Alemari Ayoga will be set up in order to study the socio-economic status of this particular community. So what we are doing is all vulnerable sections, women, then backward communities, etc. Continuing. Okay, minorities. Again, several things have been mentioned. Only those which probably is important from prelims I have kept over here. Construct a Hajj Bhavan in Mangaluru. Then 2 crore has been sanctioned for the welfare of Sikh community is mentioned. So that's why, what is the Sikh community? So it's one of the communities within the Sikh religion who are lohars. That means they are ironsmith and blacksmiths. In history, they are known to have made these very strong weapons out of iron. Okay, there is a mention of Lohargarh fort. In your modern history, you will be talking like how the Sikh community fought against the Mughal in a fort called as this Lohargarh fort, the last Sikh fort that withstood the Mughal onslaught. Anyway, so had skillfully turned Lohargarh fort into a Sikh armory. So that community is there in Karnataka. So for their welfare, money has been allocated. And another Gurudwara will be built in Bidar. Okay, if you want to remember. Is that okay? So the thing is that there are several other things like funds will be given for Jain community, this much fund were given for Christian community, this much for Hajj and other things. So those I have not mentioned. Is that okay? Feel that it may not be so important, but at least these Mangalore mein Hajj Bhavan, the Sikh community that was mentioned, who they are, okay, and a Gurudwara in Bidar, if at all you want to remember the name. So this is minority welfare. No such schemes as such has been announced with respect to minorities, specifically in the budget this time. Is that okay? It may be there in the economic survey when it is done. The general schemes and all will be done over there. So this is with respect to the social welfare. Okay, next coming to housing. Online students who are having difficulty in clarity, go to the settings. You will find that wheel icon, settings, and change your settings to a higher resolution. Because I have opened the YouTube over here, it's quite clear. Okay, so maybe you have to change the setting, that's all. Or the internet speed will be low, so automatically it would have reduced the clarity of the video. All right, we'll move on. Housing. So the budget has announced the target of constructing 3 lakh houses in this financial year 24-25. Simple number you might have to keep in mind. Okay, the 3 lakh houses in the year 24-25. Now, to promote housing among the urban poor, this is from the mains point of view. To promote housing among the urban poor, we need fund. What is the government proposed to get fund from? So one is asset monetization. Now, there will be various lands and buildings that is available among the urban municipalities, etc. You monetize that. That means you either give it on rent or on lease or sell it or put advertisements on them. So you can monetize the assets. Is that clear? There are certain lands which will be available, buildings which will be available that can be monetized. Then set up Karnataka Affordable Housing Fund, and from market borrowing you get money for this purpose. Revision of slum cess. So when you build houses, when you have to take permission from the government, you have to pay the registration fee, etc. Along with that, there is a cess also that you pay, which is called as a slum development cess. So that can be either increased, is the proposal. Then monetize immovable assets of Karnataka Slum Development Board. The Slum Development Board has several assets which can be rented or leased out to get money for this purpose. Anyways, in case if in mains point of view if they ask, otherwise prelims may nothing much, except that we target to construct about 3 lakh houses. All right, next, continuing. Then food and civil supplies, consumer affairs, etc. Okay, so we have a scheme, right, to provide under the Food Security Act, Karnataka, okay, to give free food, okay, or rice, etc. So beneficiaries in this program, that is Annabhagya scheme, right, 4 crore beneficiaries are there as of January 2024, if you want to know the number. Around 4 crore. This will be useful from your mains point of view also to start your answers, etc. So Annabhagya, review it, critically evaluate it, etc. So you should be knowing that around 4 crore beneficiaries are there from this scheme. So basically 5 kg was the initial rice that was to be distributed, has now been increased to 10 kgs. And that also was in news. There was a controversy that government does not have this kind of rice to distribute. So alternatively, what the government is doing, 5 kg rice is giving, and the other for 5 kg, it is giving cash direct transfer to the bank account, DBT. How much? This number is important, 34 rupees per kg, alternatively. So if rice is not being given, 34 rupees per kg, because the central allocation to the state is not enough to give to the beneficiaries. So alternatively, the government of Karnataka decided that whatever it is not able to give, the rest will be given in the form of money directly transferred to the beneficiaries' account. Now again, is it a merit subsidy or non-merit subsidy? Is it going to be beneficial or not? Is a debate that can be useful from your mains or essay point of view. See, now for example, when they ask an essay topic, the present government has announced several welfare schemes, or rather schemes which involves giving of freebies. Alva, electricity, we saw money directly given as pension or whatever to the women, free bus passes for women, or also your Annabhagya, and for also unemployed youth, also money is given. So these are all nothing but freebies that are being given. So you can expect a question in essay relating to this. So you will have to analyze. So you should be aware of what are subsidies. Okay, what are the 2 types of subsidies? Merit and non-merit subsidies. What are non-merit subsidies and what are merit subsidies? By definition, from your static topic, what are non-merit subsidies? Yes? Correct. No, so you can expect a question in your mains essay also, given the controversy surrounding these schemes. Okay, yes, what are merit subsidies? Yes? So subsidies given to particular sectors. What about non-merit? Yes, anybody else? Yes? Without any criteria is what? Is what? Merit or non-merit? Non-merit is given for everybody. Is given to everybody. Okay, anybody else? Yes? Simple, no? This is from your GS economy. Merit, non-merit. Okay, so if the subsidy benefits the society more than the individual, then it is called as merit subsidy. If it benefits the individual more than the society, it is called as non-merit subsidy. Let me give you an example. Now, for example, if I say COVID vaccine costs 500,000 rupees, MRP, let's say, if you want to buy it. But the government gave it for free. To whom? To me also, to you also, to somebody on the street also, to Ambani also, they gave it for free. No selection. Okay, so is it merit or non-merit? It is non-merit because, it is merit subsidy because, the vaccine that is given to the individual is going to benefit whom? More. You have to look at whom it benefits more. It is given to the individual, but who is going to benefit more from this? It is the society. No, it doesn't benefit the individual alone. See, please remember, it benefits the individual. I'm not denying that. But along with it benefiting the individual, it benefits the society more because you are controlling the COVID, right? You are preventing the spread of COVID, and therefore you are reducing the deaths, you are reducing the burden on the healthcare infrastructure. See, what will happen if this vaccine was not given and it was made 500 rupees? Ambani would have taken it either ways. I would have taken it either ways. You would have taken it either ways. Okay. So who will not be able to take and who will it spread? And ultimately what will happen? If it is not controlled, who would have suffered more? The most poorest people would have suffered. The society would have suffered. People will start dying. It will add burden on the healthcare system. Everything else will collapse. Economy will collapse. Yes or no? So you spent 100 crore to give free COVID. But how much did you save? How much did the government save? Thousands of crore. From healthcare expenditure, from economic collapse, it was able to save thousands of crore. Just an example I'm saying. You spent 100 crore, but you benefited 1,000 crore. So whom did it benefit at the end? The society as a whole. Even though you gave it to the individual, it benefited the society as a whole. Therefore, it is called as merit subsidy. So it is not depending on whether it gave it to individuals or to the large people. I'll give you another example to help you understand this. Okay. So now let's say diesel subsidy. Yes, diesel subsidies. Earlier it was given, now it has been deregulated. But let's say diesel subsidies or gas cylinder. Subsidies are given. Yes, many might have given it away or others are taking it. Okay, so this is given to whom? It is given to, again, individuals. Is it merit or non-merit? Let's try to analyze this. So now the gas cylinders, who will use it? The upper class also will use it. The middle class also will use it. Okay, the poor will find it difficult to use it because they don't have connection. Even if they are getting it subsidized, 300, 400, they'll not use it. What will they use? Either they'll use kerosene or they'll use biomass. They'll use firewood or cow dung cake. The poorest of poor on the street, are they using gas cylinder? Who is using it? Middle class families. If I remove 500 rupees subsidies, will you start using cow dung cakes? Will the middle class family use cow dung cakes? What will they do? They will continue to use gas cylinder. It will not make any difference. That is why diesel subsidy was removed, because who was using diesel? XUVs, Mercedes, BMW. But the person who was selling, milk door to door is going on cycle. He is not benefiting. Somebody, actor who uses big car running on people on the street, they are getting subsidized diesel. You understood? I don't know who it is, but I'm just telling, right? So subsidies were benefited by those big cars, etc. So now you tell me, if I remove diesel subsidy, did our economy suffer? Did it affect the poor people? It might have, but overall who benefited by removing the subsidy? The state benefited, the society benefited. Plus diesel, it is polluting, it causes pollution. Now who is going to get affected from pollution? Everybody, but who will suffer more? The poor, because they are not able to get better healthcare facilities. So by giving diesel subsidies, right, you are creating that division in the society. So diesel subsidy is an example of non-merit subsidy. LPG cylinder is an example of non-merit. One last thing before we go, another example, primary education versus higher education or technical education like medical seats, engineering seats, etc. and primary education, schools. So subsidies are given to this also. Subsidies are given for higher education also. Now you tell me which one is merit and non-merit, or both are merit or both are non-merit. What is it? Primary education is merit. Why? Because you are giving free education to the children. Okay, you are giving, let's say 1 lakh you are spending for education of that child. But that child is going to contribute to the society later because of educated youth is going to be much more. So he is going to contribute, he or she is going to contribute, let's say 10 lakh worth to the society in the future. So even though the society spent 1 lakh on that child, the child being educated is an asset to the society. Plus if you see government schools, who goes to government schools? Ambani's children, upper class, middle class. In Karnataka even middle class won't send them to the government schools. Rural, backward, poor, they are sending it to the government schools. So therefore, primary education is a merit subsidy. Now coming to the higher education, same logic we can apply. An engineer, he becomes an engineer. The government supported him. But now we'll have to analyze it further. Who gets these free engineering seats? A poor who is not able to get coaching, or somebody middle or upper class who got good coaching, went to high coaching, Allen, that, this, and cleared the NEET exam and got into this one. And then he will get educated, he or she, and then go abroad. So generally, higher education is considered in that way a non-merit subsidy. If you directly target backward communities, like give reservation and support only the backward community, then it is merit subsidy. But today it is not like that. It's available for everybody. Medical education, the fees is 45,000, free seat. Who, majority of them who gets them are those who can actually afford it. The poorest cannot afford it because they will not even be able to compete with the other rich students to get into that free seat. Did you understand? So higher education in India, unfortunately, is a non-merit subsidy. Lastly, your bus, free bus that is given for women. I like to ask this question. Free bus passes given to the women. Every time when I travel in auto and all, auto guys will always be cursing. Sir, yaru baradilla ella ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತೀರ್ಥಯಾತ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. I'll be wondering, like, if they're only traveling ತೀರ್ಥಯಾತ್ರೆ, what else will be doing? You know, that's a perception. So what do you think? Bus passes given to women, is it good or bad? Is it merit or non-merit subsidy? Non-merit. Why? Yes? It is benefiting individual. Okay. So do you think the government is wrong then giving these subsidies? Online students, do you think? Yes? See, now again, which buses, free passes are given? Volvo bus, non-AC, red bus, or the local buses? Not even the AC buses in local they are given. Now who travels in them? Who travels in them? Lower middle and the poor. Yes or no? So what do they go for? Okay, let them go to temple once in a while. But for majority of the purpose, what will they, every day do you think they'll go for temples? Or for trips, Goa trip they will be going, is it? Anyway, Goa they can't, it's only within the state. So in case we are planning, it doesn't happen like that. Okay, so within the state. So what, did they go to Udupi, that, this? Where do they travel? Where do these women travel? For what purpose? Kitty party every day? For what? Work? Or to drop colleges, schools, etc. So many times what happens is women are not sent to work because it is costly for them to travel, or far off places because it is expensive. Women are not sent to schools, colleges, because they are incurring cost on traveling. 500 rupees, it may not be big amount for the general, I mean, those who are watching my class at least. Okay, but that 500 rupees they can save, okay, that money will ultimately be used for their children. Women, when they save that 500, unlike men, okay, they will use it for the family. That's the natural Indian society mentality. I'm not being gender biased or anything, that's the fact. The emotions biologically is like that. So if women is able to save that 500 rupees, she will put it back to her child's education or healthcare, or keep it under the rice dabba, so that tomorrow somebody falls sick, they will remove that 500 rupees. Yes or no? So therefore, whatever it is, that is basically the movie perceptions or the news perception that everybody is traveling in to Tirtha Yatre. That's the general perception, but it is not. Yes, on a Sunday, that's also good, no. At least they'll get rid of their husband and go, okay, for a while, you know. So that's also a good, it's actually merit then. Okay, so if you look at this overall, even though the government is spending, let's say government is incurring 1,000 crores on these subsidies every year. But what do you think will be the benefit from this? Just imagine, economy will become better, gender equality will improve. Don't you think it will have a huge 1 lakh crore benefit for the society as a whole? So therefore, according to me, it is a merit subsidy. So that's as clear. So now each one you can analyze this way if an essay or mains is asked, whether giving electricity to this one. So electricity also. First of all, the electricity, I mean, you should realize that the rich get more subsidy than the poor in India. Whether you know it or not, the fact is rich gets more subsidies in different ways. Electricity, housing, we were already getting subsidies. Now what they did was 200 unit is free, but otherwise subsidies were given through that. Okay, when you buy vehicles, subsidies are given. Okay, education that you have attained is subsidized. Like that, lot of subsidies are also given to the rich. Okay, but anyway, so this kind of analysis probably you can do to understand whether it is merit or non-merit. Now this one is merit or non-merit. Again, it's very debatable whether it is merit or non-merit. But here it is targeted benefits. Generally, when it is targeted, we can say it is closer to merit subsidy because you are targeting whom? The BPL families. It is not for everybody. Those who really need it, they are getting. Again, there is a controversy saying that they all will eat and they will not come for work. Arey, with rice, what can they survive? Yeah, they have to do something else. What they are doing is they are saving 500 rupees every month, because rice is given free of cost. But that doesn't mean that they don't have to work for their entire life. That is stupidity. Somebody who says, rich people say that because they are getting rice free, nobody is coming for work. Nobody is coming for work not because they are getting rice, because there is empowerment, because there is economic progress. Now they are educated. They don't want to send their children as laborers. You get what is happening now. Agrarian community, plantation, in back home in my plantation, everybody complains. No labor for plantation. Why there is no labor for plantation? They blame it on free rice given to the people. But that's not the only fact. The fact is the next generation are educated. So they are getting jobs in the cities. Why would they want to come and become laborers? Government is doing good in that respect. So therefore, on a long run, all these are benefiting a lot. Is that okay, guys? Right? So anyways, that's an analysis that you'll have to make, whether it is merit, non-merit. So 10 kg These are the facts that you have to remember from your prelims point of view. 10 kg rice, 34 kg per rupees per kg alternatively. For whom? Anna Antyodaya card holder, priority houses. So there will be priority houses list will be there. In economic survey they will teach you like widow, houses run by widows is a priority house. Disabled family, that is a priority house. Okay, Devadasi family, that's a priority house. So like that, either they have to be priority house or belonging to BPL families. Families' annual income should not exceed more than 2 lakh. Next, to deliver these food grains to the doorstep, especially of the elder, there is a scheme called as Anna Suvidha program. So it is for senior citizens. Please remember this, not for everybody. Above the age of 80 years, where doorstep delivery will be given. See, tomorrow when you start off your career in revenue department, either as Tahsildar or AC, all these programs you will be implementing or making sure that it is done well. Okay. Is this fine? We'll move on. All right, online students, I appreciate all those things, you're right. All right, next, continuing, skill, labor, etc. Skill, labor. All right, so platform-based gig workers. Who are gig workers? Informal workers working for organized or your multinational companies, etc. Like your Swiggy deliveries, delivery boys, etc. who don't have fixed timings. They will decide their own timing, etc. So that is what it is. So platform-based gig workers fund and welfare fee bill will be introduced for the welfare of gig workers, the delivery boys, okay, the cab drivers, etc. Then skill academy will be set up at Sandur of Ballari district. So please remember this from prelims point of view. Okay, then Skill Connect Summit shall be held along with Global Investors Meet. Okay, so this is to promote skilling in Karnataka. Okay, so Skill Connect Summit shall be held along with Global Investors Meet that will be held in the state next year. Then entrepreneurship training will be done for 25,000 youth under Yuva Nidhi scheme. Under the Yuva Nidhi scheme. All right, so I'll just put up that Yuva Nidhi scheme. Other than that, these are few mentions of skill training, skill development that has been given in our budget. So now coming to this Yuva Nidhi scheme, I'll just quickly discuss and I'll put that scheme. So Yuva Nidhi schemes, this is basically, as we discussed, several schemes were announced last year. One of them is this Yuva Nidhi scheme. So basically it will be providing some kind of financial assistance to graduates who are not employed, so that they are not burdened on their family. So if they are graduate, 3,000 rupees, and if they are diploma holders, 1,500 if they are not employed. Is that okay? So this will start after 6 months after their graduation and can go up to 2 years. If they are planning to join higher education, or if they get a job, then they will not get this. This is only for educated, unemployed youth, so that they are not burdened on the family and they can search for job, etc. Okay, they should be resident of Karnataka. Okay, they should, this is all for degree and diploma holders after 2022-23, 6 months after their graduation. Okay, who are not eligible, those who are employed, okay, and they have received a loan from the government to start their own business, or if they get employment in any other government jobs or something like that, or they join some higher education. Okay, so Yuva Nidhi scheme, where these are all the ones which made news last year. Anyways, coming back, so this program now addition is that training will be provided for these educated, unemployed youth. under the Yuva Nidhi Plus. So Yuva Nidhi Plus, the budget says entrepreneurship training will be provided for 25,000 youth under the Yuva Nidhi scheme. Okay, Skill Connect Summit will be held along with Global Investors Meet. So every year we have these Global Investors Meet, okay, to attract investments to Karnataka. All right, so that will be held. Skill Academy in Ballari district, platform-based gig workers fund. A bill will be introduced for their welfare. When it is introduced, please go through that bill. Next, we have a policy, remember the year 2017 to 2030, called as Karnataka Skill Policy. Again, if you read this document, the general thing is create employment, skillable as per the market needs, okay, link with the private, this one, PPP, okay, incentives to be given to private sector, all those things general, whatever you comes to your mind in case if they ask in your mains, you can write. Something very specific, their vision. Kaushalya Karnataka, Kushala Karnataka. Skilled Karnataka, prosperous Karnataka. Okay. The goal, 13 lakh youth will be provided employable skill. Either self-employment or wage employment. So skill so that they shall be hired, or skills so that they can start their own business. The focus 16 to 35 years. See, this is general, you don't have to write down. So create an environment, creating awareness, creating aspirations among the youths, working with educational system so that skill shall be provided along with the conventional education. Skill training, provide infrastructure, good curriculum, quality, apprenticeship, internship basically, partnership and placement, government, industry, civil society, etc., career guidance, employment opportunity. All these will be useful for your mains. These are all fodder points, meaning it should be recycled, okay, for other answers as well. If they ask any question with respect to agriculture or something, see if it is relevant, you add it. To promote agriculture, for example, infrastructure development, yes. Creating awareness among the farmers, yes. Okay, creating a government, civil society, this one. So like that. So most of these are fodder points which can be recycled for anything, okay, relating to socio-economic topics. Okay, so we have a Karnataka skill policy. So in the budget, what was mentioned is that we will implement this policy more effectively. Okay, so various programs, initiatives will be planned under this policy. So this is with respect to skilling. Is that okay? Right? So platform, gig workers, skill development, etc. So to value addition, Karnataka skill policy 2017-13. Once they had asked with respect to the year also, with respect to some policy, XYZ policy, what is the implementation year they had asked? 2017, 27, 2017, 30, like that they can also ask. So the year also becomes important from prelims point of view. Okay, next, one more skill related scheme that was in news is Asha Deepa scheme. So basically this is a scheme to promote employability or employment for SC/ST communities in private sector. So private sector will be incentivized to give employment to SC/ST. So who is involved here? The government and the private sector. So private sector will be motivated to give employment. So various incentives or benefits. See, for example, in the scheme, reimbursement of ESI and PF contribution that is made by the employer. Okay. Then if apprentice training internship is given to them, the government will give incentive. See, apprentices, like, after they get basic education, they will be given apprentice by the private companies. Basically internship kind of a thing, for which they will be paid. That payment will be given by the government or will be refunded by the government. Okay, so this is being implemented by the Karnataka State Workers Welfare and Social Security. Okay, in the budget, what did they tell? So this Asha Deepa scheme, which is already in existence, in the budget, the government has said that the stipend will be given for 1 year. Stipend for the apprentice will now be given for 1 year. Earlier it was for 6 months, now it will be given for 1 year. If a private company employs an apprentice, their incentive will be given for 1 year. Next, for permanent employment, after, if they are employed, wage component reimbursement for 2 years up to 7,000. So if their salary is 14,000, 7,000 will be given by the government if they are employed after that. That is, they have to belong to this community. That also you have to. Who is the beneficiary? SC/ST. Who will be given money? The private companies for employing SC/ST under this scheme. Is that okay? So like this, all these keywords you have to keep in mind. Reimbursement or incentives or part payment, etc. shall be given. Okay. So Asha Deepa scheme. Difficult to relate unless you repeat. It's not very obvious, the names. All right. Next. Okay, there's a lot of facts. These are important. GTTC multi-skill center will be set up. Kalburgi, Talkal and Varuna in Mysuru. A new GTT, not set up, sorry, the existing GTTC will be upgraded to multi-skill center. Then new GTTC will be established in Ballari and Chitraduga. Now what is this GTTC? GTTC, Government Tool Room and Training Center. So basically it is set up as an autonomous society to provide skill, technical skill for the youth. To provide technical skill, machines and other, mechanical machines, work, etc. So they have now been employed in various manufacturing sectors. Okay, BHEL, HAL, ISRO and all of these places the mechanics who are employed will be trained under this GTTC. So now just a small note on this GTTC. The government of Karnataka and government of Denmark started this in the year 1972. Okay, an organization of government of Denmark, DANIDA, they basically provide skilled manpower and technical services, okay, to various manufacturing sectors. Yes. It is mentioned as Talkal. What is it? You have any idea? No, not Talkal. No. Okay. It's a village. You can Google it up. It's actually a village. If anybody knows, yes? Koppal district. Okay. Now I also checked. So just to confirm, it's not Talkad, but I had not heard of that. So I Googled. It's a village in Koppal district. Okay. Right, Center for Excellence focused on computer numerical control machines, KGTTI in Kalburgi. I'll put on what is this KGTTI now. So these are all probably the new names that you will be institutions you are coming across. GTTC. So all these new places. Ballari and Chitraduga is a new place where it will be set up. So basically it is between government of Karnataka and government of Denmark to provide skilled manpower in technical sector. Similarly, computer numerical control machine Okay, specifically focusing Center of Excellence in Kalburgi. So what is this KGTTI? Karnataka German Technical Training Institution. KGTTI is Karnataka German Technical Training Institution. So these are presently in these places: Bengaluru, Kalburgi, Belagavi, Mangaluru, Hubballi, Gauribidnuru. So the one in Kalburgi will be upgraded to the Center of Excellence, which will be focused on computer numerical control machine. Simple question, place in news. Okay, where is it being upgraded? 4 options are already there for the examiner to put it. So basically, it is set up by the Karnataka German Multi-Skill Development Center. Mission, again, multidisciplinary vocational training in technical field. Whatever, all these you can write, basically technical field. Nothing factual that you have to remember. Mains may not that important. You can just write that there are specialized institutions. One fact if you can remember, well and good. Otherwise, unlikely you will be using it for your mains. Since all are in news or in budget, the high chances it will be asked. All right. Shall we move on? All right. Next, further specific to women, as such nothing much is there. So the government proposes that they will use the help of self-help groups to provide skill training. Okay, if you can remember this for your mains, it's fine. Otherwise, prelims may nothing. 50,000 women self-help groups owned micro enterprises shall be developed in the next 2 years is the target. Unlikely they will ask this. Cafe Sanjeevani is proposed rural canteens and 2,500 coffee kiosks shall be established by women. So these are such initiatives are there outside India and other parts of the world also, where women cooperatives or women self-help groups will run hotels, cafes, etc. They will be given basic training as to how to run them, hygiene, cleanliness, and also to prepare certain dishes, etc. So such kind of initiatives will be also started in Karnataka with the help with to help the women through their self-help groups. A name Cafe Sanjeevani, you just related self-help group, women, skill will be provided to provide employment to the rural women. Plus rural canteens, support will be given so that they start these hotels, canteens, and coffee kiosks shall be established. Already women are running these entrepreneurs, coffee shop, tea shops, etc. You make it much more organized and effective. Okay, next, rural development. Pragati Pata and Kalyana Pata, so basically rural roads, development of rural roads. As such, no much details is there, but just the name, I think you can relate it. Okay, so this is probably in Kalyana Karnataka region where certain roads in rural constituencies will be built. Other facts, I'm not sure it's so important, but just maybe worth mentioning. 16 crore person day shall be created under NREGA, okay, for this year, 2024-25. Very, very unlikely they will ask, but the target the government has fixed to generate job, work under NREGA, 16 crore person days. Circular economy to be encouraged for sustainable solid waste management in rural area. The circular economy useful from your mains point of view. KPSC may not be asked directly, but if you are asking about solid waste management, this word circular economy will be very helpful. Then monthly incentives for freed bonded labor will be enhanced to rupees 2,000. So we have a Bonded Labor Abolition Act. So tomorrow when you become district collectors, you will be responsible for the implementation of these acts. So you conduct raids and other things and release the bonded laborers. Once they are released, you will be giving them certificates, and those who have these certificates will also be getting pensions or stipends or whatever incentive of rupees 2000 rupees from the government, okay, for ex bonded laborers who have been freed. Okay, just a small note on circular economy. In GS, from mains point of view, you would be reading this. Circular economy, basically it is a model of production, consumption, which involves entire life cycle. So where you reduce the wastage, reuse it, recycle it, okay, repair it. So there was a era where we talked about use and throw. So now give away that concept of use and throw. Instead, repair, reuse, recycle, reduce, all these are the words that you can use. See, these are all fodder points. Just throw it in your answer, throw it in your essay, that's all. Your circular economy, the word, underline it, right? Like that you have, sharing, leasing, reuse, repair, refurbish, recycling. So that is the era that we are now entering into, okay? Anyway, so circular economy will be encouraged to reduce your solid waste in rural areas, especially rural areas where the collection, where the disposal of the solid waste is a big challenge. Okay, to address that, the circular economy will play a very important role. Is this okay? Right, continuing. Okay, so these are some of the initiative to reform our panchayat administration. Maybe from public administration point of view, these topics. Prelims may very little information. So transfer of panchayat staff will be done through counseling, like your CET or NEET counseling, like that. Okay, these are from mains point of view. Next, Gram Panchayat asset monetization policy to be launched, so that it can generate revenue to the panchayats. Okay, so currently they are dependent on the state government for grants. They don't have actually any source of revenue for themselves other than a little bit of taxes or little bit of fee that they collect, okay, from the local people. So by monetization of their asset, more sustainable revenue can be generated. E-offices, all offices shall be converted into e-office. Then making all Seva Sindhu services available in Bapuji Seva Kendras. I'll just put up the next slide. So there is an initiative by the Rural Development and Panchayati Raj Department, okay, called as the Bapuji Seva Kendra. So basically here all the services that is offered by the panchayats shall be available under one single roof. Okay, like your Bangalore one kind of a thing, called as the Bapuji Seva Kendra, started in 2016 by Government of Karnataka, Rural Development and Panchayati Raj Ministry. All Gram Panchayat mein currently this is operational, and not only that, they have also gone offline. I think in COVID time, 2020 May, they went offline, online also. So this Bapuji Seva Kendra is now even online, not just in the panchayat, this one. They offer different services which are provided by the Rural Development and Panchayat's Revenue Department and other departments. So what is mentioned in our budget is that all Seva Sindhu services. Now what are these Seva Sindhu services? I'll just put it up one by one. I'll put it up later. To deliver government services at doorstep, integrate all the service delivery channels that is there today, like Bangalore one, Jana Sevaka, Karnataka one, etc., Grama one. All of that will be put into one single platform called as the Seva Sindhu. Objective, cashless, faceless, paperless. You might have all experienced this if you have all visited either Karnataka one or Bangalore one. You would have seen, you can pay your electricity bill, you can get your Aadhaar, you can apply for certain government schemes, etc. Everything in under one single roof. Okay, so it had multiple names, all of them will be integrated into one called as Seva Sindhu. Now I'll just put back all the slides. Okay, so these are initiatives announced in the budget to reform panchayat or rural development. Okay, this is administrative changes. What is that? E-offices, making all Seva Sindhu services available in Bapuji Seva Kendra. This is the physical infrastructure. Okay, then strengthening Arivu Kendras. It's a small initiative. What is Arivu Kendra? So these are basically names for the libraries by the panchayat. So Gram Panchayat libraries are called as Arivu Kendras. So they will also be strengthened. Fund is being allocated to strengthen them, either digitalize them. They all played a very important role. I think some of you might have experienced that also during COVID. So rural area, urban area, internet was available. They all had mobile phones, and people already had used to, taking online classes or some, at least few orientation class and all they had taken. But rural areas, internet facility is weak, plus they don't have devices. So in Karnataka, actually, these Arivu Kendras played a very important role to provide classes to children during COVID times in some places. And even some time back, competitive exam ke liye also books were made available in these. So maybe Lakshmika, other things are there in these places. You can visit. Okay, anyway, so Arivu Kendras is there, Bapuji Seva Kendras, okay, Seva Sindhu service. All these three are fine. These are important. E-governance, question in your GS or your ethics paper, you should be able to write. The same old, instead of writing Kajane or Sakala, right? Something else you can write, means you can write this. Arivu Kendras, Bapuji Seva Kendras, Seva Sindhu service. Okay. So this is fine. Bapuji Kendras, you can write down. Started in 2016 by Government of Karnataka, RDPR. All Gram Panchayats, and I think 2020 may online also. Different services of Rural Development Ministry, Revenue Ministry, etc. will be made available. Seva Sindhu services at doorstep. So these are all administrative reforms under Panchayati Raj. All right, next, planning. So these are mentioned in your budget. So obviously they have mentioned Kalyana Karnataka Regional Development Board, X amount has been given to them. I have not mentioned that. Now, if you don't know, I think most of you should be knowing all of this. Kalyana Karnataka, earlier it was called as Hyderabad Karnataka Development Board. It was renamed in the year 2019. It was part of the 371J, right? So as part of that, a board had to be set up. It was set up in the year 2013, right? Renamed in the year 2019 as Kalyana Karnataka. Okay, 42 assembly constituencies in these districts, Bidar, Ballari, Kalburgi, Koppal, Raichur, Yadgir districts. Okay, so all the district in charge ministers of these districts are the members of this board, and one person from that will be the chairman. And the MLAs, MPs belonging to those districts are also ex officio members. And there are technical members also from various departments, agriculture, that's the composition. So what is their objective? It's all very general, to develop this region. What all will you write? Promote agriculture, promote education, promote infrastructure, promote skilling, promote that, promote this, women, all that, everything. So there's nothing very, very specific as such if you read it. Okay, even if it is asked 20 marker, what are the things, you should be able to at least cook up half the things. Is that okay? Something very specific are these. This you cannot cook up. You can't write your own districts. You have to write that. So that's all you have to remember, even from the mains point of view. Okay. So Kalyana Karnataka Regional Development Board was in news. So there are other regional development boards. When we do economic survey, in that we will mention it. This is just what is mentioned. Then also Nanjundappa report also was mentioned. Okay, so you know this was a committee that was set up some time back by the Karnataka government to study the socio-economic status of different taluks across Karnataka. So they studied the socio-economic indicators of various taluks, and they came up with what is known as, this word is important, and very often they ask this committee report, or you will be writing in paper 1, paper 2 and paper 4. Okay, so therefore you have to read it. Okay, Nanjundappa report. It will be done in the mains static topic mein. Nanjundappa report. Post independent Karnataka, there's a topic no in paper 1, section 2. So there you have this committee report, plus rural development, public administration, ethics, they can be asked. So basically it was set up in order to review the backwardness of certain talukas. Okay, so they came up with a index. This name you have to remember, Comprehensive Composite Development Index, to measure the backwardness. So at that time, 175 taluks were there. They were all evaluated on the basis of the CCDI index. So based on that, the conclusion was made. So 2001, the report identified 35 taluks as backward. Remember this, 40 taluks as more backward, and 39 taluks as the most backward. These numbers are important. It's very static, very often favorite topic of the examiner. Okay, so Nanjundappa report, high powered committee to study socio-economic impact. Right, both these were mentioned. Okay, Kalyana Karnataka Development Board as well as Nanjundappa committee report. So basically the government is planning to review the performance, what has been achieved based on the report. Once the report was there, recommendations were made. So a committee will be set up to review it. Okay. Next, urban development. So those are all with respect to panchayats and rural development and planning. Next is urban development. Again, nothing much is there here. If at all, I could not delete them. That's why I just, didn't feel like I can delete it. So urban development, what have been discussed in the budget? Nothing very factual. If you see here, brand Bengaluru will be promoted to attract investments. Okay, initiatives to ease traffic congestion will be taken up. Okay, try by white topping or to build signal free corridors, etc. Installing area traffic signal control system. Okay, peripheral ring road in Bangalore, 150-meter tall sky decks shall be created across Bangalore. 150-meter sky deck for tourist purpose is being planned. Okay, a sky deck to view, like in various other international cities, there are sky decks for them to view the entire city. Okay, so such kind, 44-kilometer metro rail network extra will be added. Metro to Tumkur, metro to Devanahalli will be set up. Electric buses and BS6 buses shall be added, more number will be added. Okay, business during night hours shall be increased. Okay, till 1 a.m. So till 1 a.m. you can study in the library. Okay, so these are the benefits. These are the initiatives with respect to Bangalore city. This is Bengaluru city alone. Just if you want, you can appreciate it. Otherwise, nothing as such. Just see, it's very obvious. Okay, something from prelims point of view, what can be asked is not there. Nothing as such. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, continuing with urban development, as such nothing much. Let's see, Mahatma Gandhi Nagara Vikasa Yojane 2.0 shall be launched in 10 city corporations. So basically to improve the civic communities of the cities. Okay, so Mahatma Gandhi Nagara Vikasa Yojana, okay, along with central government tie-up, we will be implementing this. Then integrated townships shall be set up around major cities like Mysore, Mangaluru, Hubballi, Dharwad, Belagavi, Kalburgi, etc. Satellite town will be set up around Bangalore or will be developed. Devanhalli, Nelmangala, Hoskote, Dodballapur, Magadi, Bidadi, and peripheral ring road will be started in Mysuru. As such, again, not so important as per my this one, but can just appreciate it. So integrated township, satellite towns around Bengaluru, peripheral ring road in Mysore city. Okay, we'll move on. Next, Amrut 2.0. Again, this is a scheme, central government scheme to promote civic amenities and improvement of cities. So under this, drinking water connections, revival of lakes and other water sources will be taken up, plus gardens will be taken up in various cities. Scientific disposal of liquid waste will be taken up under another central scheme, Swachh Bharat Mission, centrally sponsored schemes. Local planning authority will be upgraded as Urban Development Authority. Again, nothing so important from the prelims point of view. Amrut mission say drinking water, revival of lakes and gardens, scientific disposal of liquid waste and legacy waste in Swachh Bharat Mission. Local planning authority will be renamed as Urban Development Authorities. Okay, we'll move on. Next, energy. There are some which are important here. So your Gruha Jyoti scheme, right? That is also one more freebie scheme that was announced last year. So here, what is it? Basically, 200 units of free electricity shall be given to residential houses in Karnataka. It's debatable, merit, non-merit. Now you can argue whether it is merit or non-merit. But it's only up to 200 units. If the average consumption is more than that, they're not eligible. So you are automatically excluding the richer families is one argument that you can make. Next, increase the installed capacity to 60 gigawatts per year in the next 7 years. Solar plants shall be set up, okay, floating and ground. Electronic charging stations shall be set up under PPP, and ESCOMs, the electricity distribution companies, also will be setting up your charging stations. Okay, this is all to promote green fuel, to promote green mobility. All right. So if you see here, one is the name Gruha Jyoti scheme, 200 units. If you didn't know that, you have to remember 200 units of electricity to resident, okay, of Karnataka, household of Karnataka. Then increase the capacity of electricity generation to 60 gigawatts in the next 7 years. Solar plants shall be set up. Here what is mentioned is your EV charging stations, electronic charging stations shall be set up. All right. So these are some of the measures in energy sector. Okay, anyways, next, coming to infrastructure development. This also is okay, important. See, for example, Kenny of Uttar Kannada district, a new deep sea all-weather port shall be set up. A second mega port is planned for in Honavar in a PPP mode. Then development of 4 berths in ports of Karwar, Malpe, Old Mangalore, desilting work of Karwar, Old Mangalore and 11 other ports. Enforcement of Karnataka water transport development policy and inland water transport rules. Water metro service in Gurupura of Mangaluru and Netravati river. Okay, so probably this, what I marked in red, is probably important. Kenny, a new deep sea all-weather port will be set up. A second mega port in Honavar. The rest, most of the ports will be developed, or desilting work, again because of constant deposition, a lot of silt has deposited, reducing the working functioning of these ports. So keep this in mind. Karnataka water transport development policy, as such nothing very factual information was there, so I have skipped that. Water metro service, okay, so they are all operating in various other states like West Bengal, Kerala and all of that. So such kind of metro, okay, river metro, and even in your paper 1 GS, sorry, paper 2 GS geography, inland waterway is an important topic. What is inland waterway? What are the advantages of inland waterways? Okay, they are more cost effective. Okay, therefore it is being promoted. All right. Airport, some names over here again. Mysore Airport runway will be extended. Vijaypura and Hassan Airport work, proposal to complete it, and new airport construction in Raichur and Karwar. These names can be asked. So the budget proposes to construct airport in Raichur and Karwar. The budget proposes to complete the existing, work of Hassan and Vijaypura airport and Mysore airport extension. Okay, this is with respect to infrastructure. Next, with respect to some industries, IT, BT and all of that, okay, commerce. So knowledge, healthcare, innovation, research city, okay, is being proposed in Bengaluru. Then a new industrial policy will be introduced by the government and they will be implemented. Okay, this new industrial policy we will do when we talk about the various policies. New industrial policy, its provisions. So the budget says it shall be implemented. Then global investors meet shall be held next year, February 2025. And MSIL chit fund shall be extended to rural area. Mysore Sales International Limited. It's the same thing. If tomorrow you become KS officers, one of your postings will be in these kind of organizations. All right. Next, new textile policy will be introduced soon. New textile policy for the year 2024-29 to attract an investment of 10,000 crore and to generate an employment of 2 lakh. Then 50 crore will be provided for a mega textile park, Kalburgi. Please remember this name. So this is even announced by this was announced by the Prime Minister, okay, when he visited here. Mega textile park in Kalburgi. Is that okay? So several such were opened even in UP and all of that. One such in Karnataka, that is Kalburgi district. Important. Remember this. Then new textile parks will be set up in these places. All right. Jeans apparel park, Ballari. Remember this also. Jeans apparel park. Then mini textile park, okay, in 25 districts. Okay. Then khadi activity will be promoted in this village of Nanjangud Taluk. So why is it important is Mahatma Gandhi visited this village in 1932 as a part of promotion of khadi industry in India. Okay, so in 1932, so that village has significance. So therefore, khadi activity fund has been allocated to promote khadi activity, okay, over here. Please remember all these are important facts. Mega textile park Kalburgi, jeans apparel park, mini textile parks is okay. New textile parks in these, khadi activities will be promoted over here. So these are some important ones, names you have to remember. potential to be asked in your prelims. Okay, next, some other commerce, industry, etc. Rajiv Gandhi Entrepreneurship Program. Okay, this program will be started in order to nurture ideas, innovations, and to promote startups. So Karnataka is considered as the startup capital of India, and to continue this ecosystem in Karnataka, Rajiv Gandhi Entrepreneurship Program. Then 5 acres of agriculture innovation park shall be set up at Center for Cellular and Molecular Platform. Please remember this, CCAM in Bengaluru. Then Skilling and Innovation Center will be set up in Kalburgi. Okay, all these 3 are important. Rajiv Gandhi Entrepreneurship Program, remember that. Agri Innovation Park Bengaluru at CCAM. Skilling and Innovation Center at Kalburgi, Shimoga, Hubballi and Tumakuru. Okay, few more slides, I'll just finish it off. Set up Advanced Genome Editing and Gene Therapy Institute. We don't have proposal as to where it will be set up, so you can skip it. Then there was a policy that was recently launched to promote gaming and other ecosystem, which is called as AVGC XR policy. Launch of animation, visual effect, gaming, comics and extended reality. So a few months back, they had announced this policy in current affairs. So that policy will be launched. Once it is launched, you will know the features. So basically employment generation, to promote startups, innovation, ecosystem, promote export, same thing, nothing very specific over here. Planetarium, science center shall be set up in various districts. A science city will be set up in Bangalore. You can write down that, science city in Bangalore. The others are not so important. So here there is just proposal for gene therapy, gene tree editing, etc. So advancement in genetics. Okay, we don't know where it will come up. Same way your animation, visual, gaming, reality, extended reality policy, science centers, science city in Bengaluru. Next, coming to your culture and Kannada studies, etc. So here there are some important facts you can remember. So awareness programs shall be initiated across schools, colleges to promote literature of Sharanas, and a parliament of religion will be organized during Basava Jayanti to promote the teaching of Basavanna. Then formation of your development board for the birthplace of Basavanna will be set up. Establishment of study centers, these 2 are important, in Kalburgi University to promote the teachings of Sufi saints. Please remember this. Okay, in Akkamadevi Women University to promote the teaching of Shivayogi Siddharameshwara. So these 2 are important, please remember. Okay, 2 study centers will be set up in these universities to promote specific learnings, teachings of them. Kalburgi and Akkamadevi Women University. Few more slides so we can finish off the entire Karnataka budget 2024. Okay. Right. Next, grant to promote the Saint Poet Kanakadasa Study Center, Tattvapada, Kirtanas, Bhakti movement through Saint Poet Kanakadasa Study Center. then development of memorial of Sarvagna, then memorial of Chief Minister Bangarappa, former Chief Minister, okay, Bangarappa will be set up. So these are all with respect to Kannada and cultural development. Okay, you can see that later. So this one, Bangarappa memorial will be set up, memorial for Sarvagna, then study centers for promoting all these works will be done. Next, youth ke liye 2% reservation in police and other government jobs for sports persons, that has been proposed. Then construction of sports city in Bengaluru under PPP model, Then to promote, or to motivate sports persons, awards have been already announced. Okay, 6 crore, 4 crore, 3 crore, 6 plus 4 plus 3 for Paris Olympics. Anybody who wins medal in the Olympics. For those who win in Asian Games and Commonwealth from Karnataka, okay, so 35 lakhs, 25 lakhs and 15 lakhs. This is in for youth and sports. 2% reservation, sports city in Bengaluru, Paris Olympics, Asian Games, Commonwealth, awards have been declared. Okay, next, tourism. So we'll be implementing a new tourism policy 2024-29. Then development of tourism in Ajjanadri Hill in Koppal district. Then Vachana Mantapa in Kalburgi, that also will be developed. Reviving the ancient water supply system popularly known as Karez system in Bidar and Vijaypura district. Construction of interpretation center. So these are to promote tourism. So tourism policy, we will see that when we discuss important policies of Karnataka. A little bit in more detail, we'll do that over there. But otherwise, these things you can remember. Kare is ancient, what is it? It's an ancient water supply system where Bidar and Vijaypur district, so this can be an important one. Vachana Mantapa will be coming up in Kalburgi. Okay, then, yeah. Then environment ecology, nothing much as such. To reduce man-animal conflict, special task force and couple of crores have been given to them. Task force in Bandipur. Ecotourism will be promoted in Honikere Reserve in Bidar district. An ecotourism spot. Tourism and conservation program in Bidar district. Remember this. Okay, then revenue department, okay, Bhu Suraksha Yojane, important, remember this. So Bhu Surakshana Yojane. So basically it is to documentation, digital documentation, digitalize Bhumi survey and registration document, also damaged records, storing them digitally and making sure all of them will be available or accessible digitally. Okay, digitize Bhumi survey and registration document. And new district offices complex will be coming up in Bidar and Vijaypura. So, Bhu Suraksha Yojane for digitalization of land records. Okay, and part of your revenue itself, religious endowments, some funds have been allocated for construction of residential complex in Varanasi. So construction, okay, in Mantralaya, then Subramanya temple in Bengaluru districts, Puligemma temple in Koppal district, and a vision group for development of 34,000 temples across India, across Karnataka. These are all okay facts for your prelims. Okay, so residential complex in Varanasi, Mantralaya, then Subramanya temple in Bengaluru rural, then Koppal district, and a vision group for development of temples. And last one is your e-governance and home and law. Okay. Two more last this one. So e-governance, Karnataka Public Procurement Platform 2.0. This is important. So whenever you want to, apply for government contracts, etc., for procurement and all of that, so you have a online platform called as Karnataka Public Procurement Platform 2.0. So this is with respect to e-governance. Again, as an example, will be useful from your mains point of view. Facts for prelims is all works worth more than 1 crore and tendered out by the government can be tracked over here. So its performance, the funds that has been allocated, etc. Then for higher education, Vidya Varidhi. Okay, Vidya Varidhi for database relating to higher education. Please remember this for higher education. And also artificial intelligence will now be promoted in administrative work also. So they will be setting up an artificial intelligence or machine learning administration unit, okay, so as to promote artificial intelligence based administration. So this is also being done by the e-governance department. So I'll repeat again, Karnataka Public Procurement Platform. Number 2, Vidya Varidhi for higher education. Vidya Varidhi for higher education. Artificial intelligence and machine learning unit in e-governance department to promote artificial intelligence. Then the Sakala, right? So remaining 423 services to be included under the Seva Sindhu portal of Sakala. So Sakala, as you know, it is Karnataka Guarantee of Services 2011. So it guarantees that every citizen of Karnataka will be getting certain government services in fixed time period. If they don't, there is penalty that is imposed on the officers who are responsible for giving this service. Okay, guaranteed services. The name of the law, it is entitlement. Name of the law is Karnataka Guarantee of Services to Citizens Act 2011. Then a machine translation software called as Kannada Kasturi will be developed to translate all the documents, English documents, etc. into Kannada, okay, or for helping translation, Kannada Kasturi. What is this? This is a machine learning translation software being developed by e-governance department. So Sakala and Kannada Kasturi, right? And the last one, home and law. Okay, so a high security prison will be set up in Shimoga. Then fire cess will be levied on multi-story building. The cess is 1% of the property tax. So this fire cess will help in the development of or equipping the fire department. Then turf hockey club in police playground in Bengaluru. Then Seas Yard in Devanhalli and Tumkuru. Okay, new court complex in Virajpet, and a proposal to introduce a bill called as Karnataka Prohibition of Violence Against Advocates. Okay, there's a bill that was in news because of the violence against the advocates and also to reduce police atrocities against the lawyers. A bill was introduced by the, will be introduced by Karnataka legislature. So whenever it is in news, you can read a little bit about it. But otherwise, generally is to protect the lawyers, okay, against violence. Okay, so these are some of the provisions that are there under home and law. Okay, so probably these are some of the important things that is there in our budget, Karnataka budget. If you see there, potentially we have discussed about 100 topics or 100 probable questions that can be asked. So same thing, this is how you have to reduce your entire topics into probable questions. This is the best approach that you can apply for any particular topic that you prepare. Instead of simply reading and completing the syllabus, convert them into probable questions. So whatever, wherever we have discussed, whatever, especially the ones which I have highlighted in red, are the most important ones which can be asked directly, statement based, anything, however you convert it. Okay, so these things are what is there in the budget. You don't have to read budget for anything else. Everything has been covered, both from the budget speech, also from the budget summary and documents. Plus, lot of value additions have been done. Just make sure about 30-40 pages you might have written, you keep revising them. A lot of about 100 potential questions is what we have reduced the entire budget into. Is that okay? So this will be the end of the budget 2024-25. So we will continue with Karnataka Economic Survey. We can take a half an hour break, and after that we will start with Karnataka Economic Survey in the afternoon. And also I want to inform you all that we are starting with the KPSC mains test series next week. We will be starting from 1st of March. Okay, so there will be 30 tests. 16 will be half length, 14 will be full length. So how we plan to do is, like for the example, in phase 1, first test, second, third test will be half length tests. Okay, section 1 GS1, section 2 GS1, section 3 GS1. After you finish these 3 tests, the 4th test will be full length test for 3 hours. Okay, and the 5th test will be essay. And then again we will repeat. 6th test will be section 1 GS2, section 2 GS2, section 3 GS2, and then full length GS2, then essay. Like that we will repeat. After that again full length tests and all of that. It will be very useful, see, because this exam is very competitive. Prelims, you just have to make sure you don't get eliminated. Make sure that you are within the cutoff, okay, or you are just scoring even 1 mark more than cutoff is enough. But mains is not like that. Lakhs of aspirants are trying to, they're all desperate from past 3-4 years. Every exam they're writing. After the economic slowdown, lot of private sector may also, there are no good jobs. So a lot of people are entering. So each mark counts. So with personal experience, I realized that the mains writing is the most important part of your preparation, if not anything else. So first part of your preparation, content development, then is test writing. Both should go hand in hand. So with that, we are going to start with March 1st. So this will go on till you write your mains. Even if prelims happens in between, we will take a pause and you will give your prelims and then continue with your mains tests. Okay, so this is going to happen till you write your mains. So you might have seen in the assembly, our chief minister said it will go on for, we'll try to complete it in today's newspaper, or yesterday's it was there. Within 1 year, we will finish the process. That they tell every year, but if it is there within 3 years, so they will do it. Okay, that is one thing. And the second thing is, it was also in the news, but I have to confirm it. In the morning I saw it. They have reduced the interview marks to 25. So again, it's a very golden chance for most of you who are, focused on trying to clear only through merit. Okay, so if you are someone like that, make sure your mains marks is very high. Even that 25 marks, even if you get 0, it should not affect your ranks. Like that, I have seen many last year, though, when it was only 50 marks, lot of deserving candidates were able to clear. So make sure you also work hard right from now for mains. Prelims is easy, trust me. As I told you now, budget. Keep repeatedly reading it till the exam comes. See, you might find it boring or difficult, the factual information right now, but as you read more, when you see the questions, no, when it is asked in prelims, you'll be very happy because you would have read it. There is no way that you can do wrong. So out of 40, 30 questions you will get correct. So that means 60 marks is already in your pocket. Another 100 marks somehow you have to get. That you can get from Karnataka, National Current Affairs or Polity or CSAT or somewhere. Okay, so prelims, your approach is very different. Prelims, your approach should be that wherever marks I should get, I should get. I should not complete the syllabus. I should not be an expert in the syllabus, but I should get marks wherever possible. So mains is a very different, because you have so many, 4 plus 1, 4 paper plus essay. Every paper is a challenge in itself. Unless you experience it with only content, you can't. So with that interest, those who are interested, you can join this. All right. So with that, I'll end the budget. I hope it was useful. Towards the end, even for me, it got boring. But in case if you did not write it, please watch the YouTube video and finish it off. See, the notes that is there, no, even though the understanding is not so difficult, the notes, if you repeat it, is very useful. Trust me. Okay, my approach, if you attend my UPSC class, will be very different. I will not focus on notes. KPSC is a very different ballgame, because I have cleared both UPSC, KPSC. I know what it requires and how is it different. UPSC conceptual clarity is important. Here, no concept, it's a facts. You repeatedly read it. They'll ask where it is, Kalburgi, Raichur, what? What is there to understand in that most of the times, right? So therefore, the notes that you have made is going to be very, very useful. So repeatedly read it, fill it up with the schemes program. Even though it gets boring, trust me, it took almost 3 days for us to do this particular slide. So you have actually reduced 3 days of your effort. So then the same thing goes with even economic survey and other things. Even though it gets boring, at least Sunday, if you keep it for this, 40 marks, 40 questions are going to be comfortable. Okay guys, thank you. See you in the afternoon. Okay.
ಓಕೆ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಬನ್ನಿ.